The market that we choose for the company is Canada because it's a dynamic country, which encourage foreign commercial investment and offer different benefits like their high quality workforce, the low operational cost and competitive environment relate with the other companies. This country has the lowest taxes in comparison with the countries of the G7.
46% less than the United States.
The investments are protected by sector-specific legislation. In the financial sector, they are managed by the Finances Department.
Investments in activities related to Canadian cultural heritage or national identity are administered by the Department of Cultural Heritage.
Whilst Canada is the country of the OECD that less
Procedures and time required to start up an industrial or commercial company.
International strategy. According to the SURA, commercial strategy from the beginning was focused on two segment categories, people and companies. Each one worked with a properly niche market selected rigorously. Those strategies depend on the consumers in the targeted communication, in the commercial offers design, and its relationship. Also, it helps to sensitize.
However, the internationalization strategy as a multinational in the transnational organization based on the Bartlett and Gauchal model in 1989. In such a multinational firm, the resources are dispersed but interdependent, and the subsidiaries have a certain degree of autonomy at the same time as they are integrated in a worldwide. The transnationality index in a company is composed of an average of foreign sales, assets, and employment as a percentage of total sales, assets, and employment. They argue that in industries in which adaptation to different conditions in national markets is crucial, multinational firms have to choose a multinational organization model. The operations abroad are seen by the headquarters as a portfolio of independent businesses, a kind of decentralized federation. In industries in which the main competitive advantage consists of centrally developed new products that are exploited in several. In industries in which economies of scale and standardization are possible to exploit due the homogenization of customer tastes. The successful multinational firm will adopt a global organization model. In this way, SURA is a holding company that brings together investments in insurance and social security. Its brands are SURA Insurance, ARL SURA, and EPS SURA, although there are other brands and companies, especially those which provide services that are part of the conglomerate Suramericana SA, supported by Grupo SURA, its parent company, which owns the 81% of the company, and the remaining 19% belong to the international reinsurance Munich Re. This shareholding structure allows the company to count with the operational transfer of financial, commercial, and operational synergies. According to international process, the table shows the accumulated value of the direct investments made abroad and its geographic localization. It's important to clarify that the values are indicative of the transnationalization process. This because in the majority of the cases where used secondary sources do the statistics reserve that does not let the Bank of the Republic brings detailed information about the Colombian. With no doubt, the Suramericana Financial Group have the major Colombian presence abroad, with a wide coverage of the sector and geography. With such amount of investment and presence in more than 25 countries, the Suramericana Financial Group is the best example of the phenomenon of transnationalization of large Colombian. However, Sura, in comparison of conglomerates like Success, Nutresa, Argos, and Bancolombia, is the one that has more investment abroad. This multinational has broad coverage sectorally and geographically, which has a headquarter centralization in its companies around the world, in addition to the independence of decisions in a specific market. When choosing the main entry mode in the market, you can find that there are 7 different ways to enter the market, including export, licensing, franchising, turnkey projects, all of our subsidiaries, joint ventures, and strategic alliances. In this case, the best choice for Sura in Canada is to take into account its strategy of internationalization, which is a market entry strategy maps out how to sell, deliver, and distribute your products in another country. When you're exporting a service, the strategy defines ways of obtaining contracts and delivering them in that country. An agent secures orders from foreign customers in exchange for a commission. A representative is a specialized agent who operates within a specific geographic area and who sells related lines of goods. Of these two forms to enter the market, Sura will receive advantage of exporting its services to another place to reach an international advantage obtaining economic benefits as it is the commission by a percentage of the sale or a strategic commission during the periods that Sura is in that market.
So, in order to review the industry and to measure its potential for SURA, we decided to analyze some key facts about the 2015 insurance markets. So we can first notice that there is 42% of direct premiums were for car insurance in 2013. Secondly, of its 161 billion in total asset, the insurance company has 114 billion invested in 2015. Canadian insurers wrote approximately 50 billions in direct written premiums for insurance on consumers' home, cars, and businesses. We can also notice that there is 1.2 billion the amount of insurance industry contributed in taxes and levies to federal and provincial governments in 2015, which represent about 60% of all costs at the end of the customer. Concerning the employment market, there is more like 200 private insurers actively compete in Canada, and the industry employs approximately like 122,000 across Canada in 2015. Well, to go further in analysis, we researched for the taxes and levies, which are really important in this industry. So each year, the insurance industry makes significant tax contribution to government tax revenues. In 2015, Canadians insurers paid taxes and levies totaling over 8.2 billion to federal and provincial governments. About 83% of the industry total tax contribution was incurred through the insurance supply chain and was paid regardless of the industry bottom line, which only 70%, 17% was paid in income taxes. So there is basically three main taxes and levy applied to this market, which are first the retail sales tax on claims and expenses, the insurance premiums tax, and the healthcare levy. Also, we analyzed the operating expenses that are required for this market. So we thought that for operating expenses for the interest market includes facility cost, for example, information technology, market research, and employees compensation. For in employees compensation, for example, it's the largest expense in this market. So as the market employed 122,000 people across Canada, compensation levels in the industry are relatively high compared with most other sectors in the economy. So the average weekly salary in 2015 was about 100 into $1,246. So this reflects the advanced skill mix that employees in the insurance industry possesses and employment in the insurance industry as a whole. We can also make a quickly point about the catastrophic losses. Insured losses for a given disaster are deemed catastrophic when they total over 25 millions or more. So catastrophic losses for a year as the sum of total insured losses from their natural disasters. Catastrophic losses due to natural disasters have increased dramatically over the last decades. In 2015, catastrophic losses plus loss adjustment expenses account for approximately 600 millions, a welcome reduction from the previous 6 years in a row when insured losses were close to one more than 1 billion. As a sum up of the report of the insurance market of Canada and as a business proposal for SURA, we remark that the Canadian general liability and property markets are expected to remain competitive and stable through the further proximal years. Demand for cyber risk insurance will likely continue to rise due to a number of factors, including increased options and cloud-based services, an acceleration in the amount of sensitive data collected by companies, and a dynamic threat landscape. Also, companies may find it increasingly difficult to obtain coverage for more challenging environmental risks as the number and size of unmerited claims continue to grow. Growing interest in the small and medium-sized businesses among insurers is driving greater competition and will likely to continue to keep rates in the next years. So it could be great for SURA to invest in this sector as it seems to be the more dynamic with the most potential overall. A key element for the company should be to propose a complete services as we remark that people are asking for house, cars and company insurances a lot. In addition to there, when even the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has encouraged the Canadians to ask for insurance for their houses because of all the hard times they had with the catastrophic losses issues. SURA can also count on an important South America community that there is over there. Those people will surely be like more sensible to the SURA offers. More than 500,000 people are coming from South America,